Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jeff&Aaron show. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Jeff. He's the millennial that doesn't have a clue.
He is the uncle who doesn't have a creepy. Wait. No, he's got a lot of creepy.
This is a monumental step forward or back?
I think back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hiatus is over. Back by popular demand. Retirement Sucks tour.
It does, and I was getting hit up like every day. I was like, we got to get back on this.
Yeah, our two fans were just relentless with texting.
Yeah, Tim and Eric out there.
Dr. Doom.
Yes, we are glad to be back, though. We had been talking about it, kind of flirting about it. He would hit me up at 3 a.m. and ask me what I'm up to, and finally we just, bit the bullet.
Yeah, and in case you don't know, this is the first show of the second coming of the Jeff and Aaron show. So we have returned to gather our followers and take them to comedy heaven with mediocre, anecdotal observations of the world around us and our own lives.
Yes, they are observations. And I also have a theory. I think I mentioned this on our last hiatus, but the episode back after a break has to be like one of the best.
You're putting a lot of pressure on us right now.
Well, it's like when you come out with they come out with season 3, season 4. It's like the first episode they've had all off season to get all their jokes ready.
And sometimes you think they've been off season so long because they're trying to figure out this great, storyline.
Yeah.
Okay, so cue the music. Cue that theme music, Aaron. Let's get this thing started. This is the greatest season 2 posting. What is it posted? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're putting it on YouTube.
All right, yeah. It is the second coming of the Jeff and Aaron show. Cue the music.
We didn't get new music by now?
No. I love that music. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the second show. Aaron, you were saying.
I was saying, so we got a lot of jokes, right? It's easy to bring them up on a podcast, but what if you have a comedy, like TV show? I wonder if they write entire storylines just so they can put in one joke. They're like, hey, let's take a trip to Cabo.
Yeah. No, I see exactly what you're saying. That could be like my trip to Santa Maria this weekend.
Trip to Santa Maria.
Yeah,
I don't hear a lot of people booking trips to Santa Maria.
It's not a place you would go. Although the wine is starting to make it known. But Santa Maria is the Bakersfield of the coast. I mean, there's no reason to go there.
They have good food, but for those of you who don't know, it's a little bit more, would you call it trashy?
Yeah. I think that's
Little Mexico?
From the beautiful suburban confines of Ventura County, Santa Maria is a little bit. It's a farm town.
Yeah, but it could be Bakersfield has got to be 10 times worse.
I think so. Oh yeah, because I did spend time in Bakersfield last year, and it is horrible. Yeah, Santa Maria, people in Bakersfield vacation in Santa Maria.
I think there's two things that I would blow my brains. I would be moving to Bakersfield, or being paralyzed from the neck down.
Well, you need help with that.
Yeah, we've already discussed. We're repeating jokes here, folks.
I'm not putting a pillow over your head until you stop. You wouldn't even be wiggling.
As long as you do it.
I'd be like holding it and then, I don't know, is he dead? Because you're paralyzed.
I'd be smiling, trust me, if you have the pillow over my face.
Right, but usually you hold it there till they stop moving, right? But if you're paralyzed, I'd be like, I'd have to pull the pillow up and you're like, no, I was almost there. Oh, sorry, man. Put it back down.
I was almost climaxing.
So I'd be charged with attempted murder and then murder because eventually I would smother you.
I'm not
if you ask me to.
I'll ask my family not to press charges. So what were you doing in Santa Maria? Why?
Well, I went up there to play in a softball tournament because I like to play softball. I know it's kind of
It's a gay boy sport, but nothing wrong with that.
No.
And a lesbian sport.
It's a drunken beer kind of weekend warrior type of sport.
No, it's a good hobby.
But there's a lot of action in softball and defense. That's what it's really about.
Well, baseball in general is a lot of life lessons and
there's so much we could go into, but not in this podcast. That would bore people to death.
Right.
Because we're not into the real life lessons. We're into observation, light observation, anecdotal. Informational type of stuff.
I disagree a little bit. You got some life lessons if you go back and listen to the tapes.
But you wouldn't want to follow them. You just laugh at them and go, what an idiot.
Yeah.
And this is one of them, this trip to Santa Maria. So somehow I convinced my wife to go.
Oh, that's
my wife
itself.
Yeah, my wife's become a new person. Since our break, my wife got a job. She works at home. She is totally way more social. She's totally...
By working at home?
Yeah, because before she worked in such a high environment of wackadoo people and all, she'd get home and say, I don't want to see another human face. So now she
Wow.
sits in her office all day and she's like, it'd be nice to see some people.
Oh yeah, I've worked from home before. It's a tough thing to do,
Yeah.
especially when you're single. That's a whole nother story.
Oh God, that didn't want to blow your brains out, or have me smother you with a pillow?
That
at
was
that
close,
point?
but I only
Okay.
did it for about a year and a half.
Oh, so you survived.
I survived.
Yeah. Well, she's loving it. She's become a new person. So I said, honey, the guys want me to come up and play ball. You want to make a trip of it? We'll go to Santa Maria. We'll do some wine tasting. We'll try and find a great restaurant.
That's like the thing you try not to say where you're going. Like, we're going to Santa Maria, and then we'll go to we'll go to wine.
We're going up the coast.
You like wine? They have wine.
You just say we're going up the coast,
Up
babe.
the Central Coast.
Because Buellton, San Ynez, that is gorgeous.
Yes,
And then
right.
you open up to Santa Maria, and you're like, what the hell happened here?
And then you get back to Pismo, and you're good.
Right.
So
It's just a weird little spot in the map. Mm-hmm. She says, yeah, we'll go. So like Thursday before we're leaving on Saturday, she's starting to regret it. She's like, oh man, why did I?
she started researching Santa Maria.
She's like, why did I agree? No, because she's been to softball tournaments she hasn't come as married couple.
So softball tournaments in general are boring, and then you add Santa Maria on top of that.
Right. Well, for someone going, you're sitting there in a lawn chair for 5 or 6 hours with a bunch of yahoos at this particular point vaping all around us.
Oh yeah, that's
Because this is an Alcoholics Anonymous tournament, and everyone's just got out of jail. They're trying.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow, this is an interesting
pretty
scene.
brutal.
I like
Yeah.
it. Wait, so are people off the wagon, on the wagon, or are they pretty
They're
much all
pretty much
sober?
off the wagon.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hope.
Okay.
But they've
Well, that's
got
the
those they're haggard. The girls are a little bit rough. The guys are rougher.
I don't know how I feel about like women going to sporting event. I just, do they really pay attention, or is she on her phone most of the time?
Well, that's a whole nother podcast because my wife has recently started playing ball with me.
Ah.
And she has become a freaking beast.
Really?
Yeah, she's... Yeah,
How many
so-
dingers does she hit?
She got one clean base hit
Oh.
in maybe like one every 15 at-bats. But she's determined. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll take it.
So now she understands the game a little more. So she actually... Anyway,
It's the thought that counts.
so Thursday she's starting to look at me with this look like, how can I get out of this? We've already booked the room.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, don't leave me alone.
Does she ever get emergency medical calls that she could use? Nothing like that?
I bet she wished she had. Because, so I tell her, look, we need to leave at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. She's like, really? So already now the regret is doubled.
Right, yeah.
She's like, this is lame. So Saturday morning comes, we wake up, and for whatever reason, I think it's because I had like some cheap Mexican food the day before.
Explosive diarrhea?
Oh my God. No, death farts.
Oh.
So we get in the car and I blast out this thing.
Oh.
The leather in the car is starting to wilt.
You know,
what
a
I mean?
road trip is not the same without death farts.
I'm
need
telling
them.
you.
It's like bringing chips and snacks. You gotta have death farts.
It was horrible. So at some point during, it would only lasted about the first hour of the trip, but she's tired. She's up early, which she hates. And then I look over at her, and the wind is blowing her hair because we've got all the windows down.
Oh yeah. Do you attempt to hold it in, or you kind of accepted defeat at this point?
At some point, I started thinking they're gonna get better. So I thought, man, I just won't say anything. And so
Honey, it gets better.
I let it creep out, and then suddenly we're like, oh!
Yeah. The first fart in a relationship is something I've experienced over the last couple of months.
Oh, really?
It's you see, with my friends, I'm the opposite. I let it loose.
Right.
I want them to hear it. I enjoy it. It makes me happy.
Or you want them to quietly walk into it.
Either or. But at the same time, the sound is also a big factor. So, but I had a couple moments where I thought I was getting away with something. I would squeak it out, and all of a sudden she's like, "What happened over here?"
So Aaron is. Can we talk about this?
We can talk about this.
Aaron is in a very serious relationship since the last time we talked. I mean, the last time we talked, you were just starting to see this girl, and she was off the table. No, couldn't talk about her on the podcast.
I thought she'd be gone any day.
And now it's I don't know how long it's been.
It's 1 year anniversary yesterday.
Oh my gosh. This is a milestone, folks. Cue the anniversary music. Pop the champagne. Let's celebrate.
Yeah.
Now, I do have something of some experience. I have had more 2-year relationships than probably most people because it takes about 2 years for me to figure out that I don't like someone. You know what I mean? Or
an
that I
interesting
can't
point.
continue to go on.
Yeah, I've never
So
had a 2-year anniversary. So
Right. So you're right in the middle. So I hope the things go well.
Oh, thanks. So
I hope that this time next year we're not talking about how you're looking for a new roommate.
Yeah.
or
Mark the date. In 2 years, you're gonna hit me up. Hey, you breaking up or what?
Yeah, how's it going?
We travel.
You have farted in front of your girlfriend.
We travel. We fart. Well,
Has
no, she doesn't.
farted?
No.
Thank God.
That's a deal breaker.
It is. I told my wife, honey, I don't want to know anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing, I guess, if you slip one by, but as long as there's nothing audible.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's an area down there where it's very important for us guys.
Well, I traveled to the Philippines with her, and traveling.
She's Filipino.
Yeah, she's
You met her
Filipino.
family?
But I met her here in the U.S., so
Right.
it's not weird. It's not one of those. Hey, I met her in the Philippines. She's attached with a visa.
Right. You didn't meet her on a website.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, but my
And you
point
met her
is,
family.
I met her. Well, her family is mainly in the U.S., but yeah, we met some of her Filipino family.
And that
they give
didn't-
us a whole parade when we showed up, and not a parade. They just like wave some like symbols and I don't know. What do you do?
Right.
Tambourines.
And so you're just like going with it. You're like, I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, they're like, oh, white boy coming to town.
We have a white visitor.
Well, they do really like white people. They have lotions that like make your skin whiter. They're all into like getting
Really?
whiter. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a big thing that she's dating a white boy. So
That's awesome. Well, if the whole town puts on a parade because you come to town, that's
what's interesting is the whole neighborhood is her family. So there's like 10 different houses, and they're all just owned by her family, and they're just like it's just a constant shit show of walking in each other's houses. It's a
Wow.
funny scene.
There's no boundaries.
No
Everything
boundaries.
is wide open.
No, and their houses are a little dumpy, but they seem pretty happy for the most part.
Is your girlfriend going to listen to this podcast?
Oh yeah. As long as I don't use the word
dumpy?
ghetto, as long as I don't use the word ghetto, she doesn't get mad.
Oh, dumpy is better.
They're great people.
So the first night you're there, you're like, honey, I don't mean to, but this is a little ghetto. Hey, man, don't say that.
No, that's like, I'm not kidding you. Those are war words.
Really?
Like we can't really even joke about it, or I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
But in Philippines terms, they're not ghetto, right? They're just normal.
No, normal, yeah.
Like any house.
Middle class.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But where I was getting at is when you travel with someone, it's hard to hide all of your bodily functions.
Clearly.
So,
And what's the alternative? You
Death.
hold it in, and so you have these incredible cramps.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No.
I mean, I know women get cramps once a month, but I can't put up with it. I gotta let it loose.
I think women get gas cramps because they're afraid to fart. I know my
Whoa.
wife is.
That could be. But so I know you're not supposed to drink the water in the Philippines. You reminded me on the text message there. But I don't know. I must have had some water. Something happened, and I every time I ate, it was instant diarrhea.
Really?
So
Did you lose weight?
No,
Oh.
but we checked into a little room there, and then all of a sudden I like, all right, I got to use the bathroom, and that was like the first time she could audibly hear what was going on.
Oh, wow.
It was a good learning experience.
It brings intimacy.
It does, unfortunately.
Did she stand at the door and listen? Like,
I
let's
don't-
get the full.
Maybe I saw 2 feet
there
like
any-
right at the door. I was like, what's going on?
Was there any verbal noises accompanying?
Oh yes. yes. No, but for the first time I used a whole roll of toilet paper in one sitting.
No.
I did.
Oh my god.
You ever done that before?
I think so. Yeah.
But I think it was like Filipino, like crap toilet paper. So that's my defense.
Okay, so there's two insults to the Philippine country. All right. Well, 3 if you count the food.
Oh, but they in the Philippines, their airports are very clean. They take a good. They do some of their bathrooms. You walk in and it's like cockroaches, disgusting, smells like piss. But in the Philippines, the bathrooms, you take a dump. In between each dump, the guy is mopping the floor after every use. He's
In the airports?
In the airports, he's spraying air freshener while someone's taking a dump on the other side over the wall. So people are like, it's raining down air freshener on people taking a dump.
So explosive diarrhea seems to be a common thing over there, that they've created a whole industry to combat this.
It's funny.
So how many trips to the airport did you make so you could use a clean bathroom?
Oh, well, you know what? We took 8 planes in total, so I didn't have to make any extra trips.
So when you were at your hotel, you weren't like, I'm going to go down to the airport and take a dump.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer than this.
I didn't think of that. I'm not that smart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you made it back and everything's good.
I made it
Was
back.
this your first culture shock? Was this your first?
No, I've been to Mexico, but
I've been to East Los Angeles, basically the same.
Yeah, same thing. But the funny thing about the Philippines is they all speak English.
Wow.
So everyone
That
speaks
is cool.
English, but they have a funny accent. Whenever the customer, their customer service, they try really hard, but it's not quite there. They greet you. They say, "Sir, mom," together. It's like "Sir, ma'am." It's like, and I think they say. I thought they said "mom."
So
I was
they're-
like, did they just call us mom and dad? Like, no, mom, like ma'am, like with an accent.
Oh, because you were with your girlfriend.
Yeah, sir,
okay,
mom.
so they weren't. So they're not ahead of the whole gender thing by just saying, "Hey, we're just going to cover all our bases."
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I was alone and they did it too.
Sir, ma'am, trans, whatever. Hi.
Yeah, they're
Human
totally
being,
progressive over
individual,
there. Yeah.
carbon-based, featherless biped.
It was a great trip.
What was the best thing you ate while you were there? Was there anything really
You know,
great?
the food... I don't want to talk any more crap. And I don't mean talk crap as in diarrhea. No,
So what happened after your butthole was raw from that full roll of toilet
you know
paper?
what? Not having hot water is a big problem when you have diarrhea because you can't clean out properly.
Well, cold water. I mean, soap.
No, I tried it and it stung. It just didn't work. I'd get out of the shower and it felt the same.
Ugh,
Anyway, I don't think we
That's
want to get
horrible.
into...
Wow.
All right. Well, anyway...
Well, we want to close the loop on each one of our...
Right. But, you know, I mean, like I said, even though they don't have as much as we do here, they're pretty happy for the most part. It kind of reminds me of how, kind of no matter how your life is, everyone's got something to complain about. You ever?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like
I can
people
complain
always,
all day long.
people
In fact,
always
I do,
think the
most of
grass
the
is greener on the other side. Like whether it's with a job or with your family, you know, whatever it is. It's
Or
kind
a
of
podcast.
a podcast,
There's not a better podcast, folks.
No,
Forget
no.
about it.
But it's incredible. I mean, like, I wonder if there's amount of money where I would get to the point where I'm like, all right, I got no worries. I got nothing. I'm just happy. I don't know. What do you think?
Gosh. That is the age-old question, isn't it? The search for happiness?
I'm not all about money. I know
Are
it's
we
not.
getting philosophical here?
You know, what's funny is when my friend listened to this, he's like, all you guys do is like talk about religion and politics. I'm like, no, we don't.
We made a rule not
We
to
did.
talk about religion and politics, and then of course, well, I mean, there were reasons why we had to. The world was on fire.
Right. But I just, the whole grass is greener. It's
Happiness.
like, because you don't see what the other side looks like, you just assume there's this allure to it. It's kind of like, I don't understand why our minds work that way. It's like torture.
I'm going to tell you my theory, and I think it's proven by science, but this is anecdotal observations at best, so take it with a grain of salt. At the advent of television, we were bombarded, and still today, with media commercials telling us that we're not happy. Right?
Right.
Get this car. You don't have this car, you a-hole.
You think it works?
Oh my God. What do I... This is why he's the millennial, folks.
Well,
His advertising work.
This is
Let's see.
what got me thinking about this. If you look at one of the King Henrys back in the days,
5, 6, 7, 8, whatever.
that guy was the wealthiest guy in the world, and he had everything. You know, he'd ask whatever meal he wanted prepared for him. He'd do, you know, whatever he wanted.
Right.
But nowadays, you can go outside and get any meal you want, and you have a better life than King Henry or whatever the hell his name is.
Right.
And for some reason, we're living better than the guy who's wealthiest on the planet, and we're still not happy. So it just...
Yes, it's a great problem.
Yeah.
Because our society sells dissatisfaction.
I know, but it's
Watch
like
the news, man. The news is just to get you so fired up and angry that you'll react in a certain way.
Yeah.
I quit watching the news, and my God, my attitude is
Really?
Oh yeah.
How do you stay up to date on stuff?
I got my ways.
You just read headlines or what?
I just don't care.
Well, what if there's a hurricane and 30 people die?
Well, I'm sure I'll hear about that.
Don't you need to donate? And
I don't need. You know what? Hey, if the hurricane hits the East Coast, what the hell am I going to do about it?
cry?
I guess, right. So, do I feel like crying today?
Life is tragic.
It is. Now you're coming around.
We need to have like a couple themes on the show that are recurring. Life is tragic.
Right?
Diarrhea is fun.
Diarrhea and death farts are always comical genius, comical gold.
No, but I really do think we should have a few standards. So for now, we'll write that one down, and then we'll have to come up with more as they go.
Yeah.
Oh, and you need laughter to make it livable, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Life is much better with laughter.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna go hang out with one of your friends, and one of them's always crying all the time, and the other one's always laughing, which one are you gonna go hang out with?
Yeah. No, of course.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you to the complainers out there, I'm a complainer, but I try to do it in a funny way.
Yeah.
I try to make it a comedy twist on it so that it doesn't sound as tragic.
You don't even need everybody's a complainer. You don't even
Right.
have to take blame for it.
Okay, well,
I mean,
I'm just saying I'm not above.
and I was just thinking I would love to do this podcasting thing all the time, full time.
Of course.
But then again, where would all my material come from? Because a lot of it's at work making fun of people.
We would have to become those dudes who scour the headlines.
Yeah, right.
You know, the weird headlines.
Or we just go and like observe people at a coffee shop or something. Then we start making up material.
Or just talking to people.
Yeah.
Just talk to people, get their theory on life, and you'd be like, oh my God, this is gold.
I've noticed that. You talk to strangers. Like I never really, more than a few hello, whatever. You'll actually spark conversations with strangers.
Yes, it's
Tell
both
me more about that.
It's both a curse and a blessing. Because like I've been doing at the gym. I've been going to the gym since February.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, since last week, but I'm trying.
And did we close the loop on the grass is greener thing? Happiness, search for happiness? I feel like you just threw it out there and then we walked away from it.
I think we played it out. Was there something else you wanted?
I was just going to say to the complainers in life out there, if you're complaining and you're wondering why people don't want to hang out, maybe it's because you're complaining too much and they just decide, you know what, I just don't want to be brought down.
It could be, but there's so many things that also could be. You never know. I mean, maybe
true.
You got bad BO, maybe you fart a lot. I don't know.
Maybe you're just not interesting or fun.
Right.
That's
a problem.
It is.
What do you do for someone like that?
I don't know. I'm the most interesting person I know, so I have no experience with that.
Jeff Lane, the most interesting man in the world.
To know me is to love me.
No, but I mean, you can't
You're
cure
interesting.
that. I am?
I can hang out with you all the time, but you always call me at the weirdest times. You're like, I'm in bed, and you're like, hey, come have a cigar.
Oh, no, that's my brother hits you.
Well, he tells me you're there. I'm thinking, oh, that'd be cool. But
yeah. And it's funny, people ask me, like, so you just go and you smoke a cigar? Like, what do you do? I'm like, it's a social thing. Like, they don't understand it. I wonder if those kind of people just don't really get that part of life is just conversating and enjoying.
Well, this is a lost thing in our culture. People are so and I'm off social media.
Oh,
that's
I didn't even notice you left.
Oh, yeah. That's because I never really posted crap.
Well, that's not a knock at you.
I killed social media for a variety of reasons, but I'm telling you, the idea of having a private life and having not to be inundated with other people's lives, it had an effect. It's very positive.
Yeah, see, I've already gotten to that point where...
But I don't want you people to get off social media because you need to go and share our podcast on your social media sites.
Yeah, you're not exactly making much sense here. But would you say on a scale of 1 to 10, like from, let's say you were a 5 of happiness on social media, are you like a 10 now that you're off?
It's markedly increased.
But are there things you miss?
No. It's weird because like my wife handed me her phone the other day and said, check this out, this thing on Instagram. And suddenly I'm scrolling and I felt like I was back at the crack house. You know what I mean?
I was just going to say, it's like you got one bump.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm just going to swing by the crack house and see how everyone's doing. Maybe I'll hold the torch, while they smoke. Maybe I'll just find out how their life's going. Then I get in there and I'm like...
Yeah, you're lighting up.
Wow. It was a weird, and it wasn't a good.
It's like a drug. It really
was
is.
not. It was not like a satisfying good feeling. It was like, I need to know what's happening here. I need to scroll. Oh
Anxiety.
my god! Look at these cute puppies. Look at these cat videos.
It's like you have anxiety to catch up on what you're missing.
Yeah, it did have a weird effect. I can't really quantify it in words, except that it was not feeling good, and it was like a vacuum sucking me back in.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of anxiety?
Yeah.
I know this is another topic, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, you're just switching gears on us.
No, it has to do with the social media thing, though. I think people, I don't know, they want to share with their stuff with the world because they have anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
They feel like they need to get it out there.
I block those people instantly.
Yeah.
I don't need to take part in that. If you're on social media, friends, and you're thinking that you're therapeutically divulging stuff so that you can feel better, you're making your friends hate you.
Why don't you comment and tell them that, hey, you should see a psychiatrist?
Because... Because even though if I meant that with my heart and goodness, it would come off as, or if I meant it as funny, nobody knows what I was coming off. That's the problem with social media.
That's the thing I've learned about being in a relationship. I am someone who's very level-headed, doesn't have a lot of emotion in what I say or do.
That's debatable, but go ahead. It's your story. Go
I'm
ahead
the clearest thinker you've ever met, okay?
Okay.
No, but when I say something that sounds a little mean or comes off the wrong way, it's like an emotional thing. I'm like, hey, just leave your emotion at the door, okay? What I'm saying is true. You just need to accept that. I should have some examples to back myself up.
How long is your lease on your place?
It's 13 months.
13 months? Well, then you better keep some of those level-headed statements to yourself if you want to see the end of that.
I told her, hey, after this 13 months, if it all goes well, I'll promote you to fiance.
Ooh, for how long?
And then she said, I don't want a time frame. Now I'm going to think, 13 months hits. If it's a lose-lose. If you do it right away, I know it's coming. And if you don't, I hate myself.
This is funny. So you go to the 13 months, you promote her to fiance, then what's the time frame? Is there a date or is it open-ended?
I'd like to say there's like a 3-week window of like enjoying life and not stressing, and then we can set a date. It's like a limbo land.
Okay, good. Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds like a millennial.
It's like a vacation, because it's so stressful planning and who's going to pay for this and that.
So how has it been now that you've been living together for a while? Is it...
I don't.
Off the table?
No.
Can't talk about it.
Off the table. Speaking of tables, we are buying way too much furniture and spending too much money.
You're not going down to the Goodwill?
Oh, we tried.
Because I remember you are cheap on yourself.
We tried.
You don't like see a couch on the side of the road with a free sign?
No, I sent her a screenshot. It was a joke. I sent her a screenshot of this couch, and it's like this 2-seater, like hideous, like from the 1970s, and she thought I was serious. It had free on it though, so I was like, hey, let's see how this goes. No, but the Goodwill I get anxiety going to the Goodwill. But like the thing about the Goodwill is, that it's possible to get a great deal. It's very possible.
It is.
But you walk in and it's a shit show. Nothing's organized and it smells like homeless people.
Yes.
And I'd say the majority of the time you walk around and you're like, am I missing out on the good deals or this is all just piles of junk?
Yeah.
And it's just sad.
Well, I've gotten to a point in my life where I've decided that I'm going to just get the finer things in life. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
I used to bring crap home from jobs. Speakers or something that I thought were cool. This crap would pile up around my house, but I didn't want to get rid of it because I thought it was cool.
But I thought you were saying you spend money on whatever you want, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Now I do.
Yes.
Now I say if I want a new couch, I'm going to go get an adult contemporary couch that I want.
My coworker is the same. He says, why would you wait till you're retired to spend all your money? It's spend it while you can and while you have fun. And I'm kind of the same way. I'm trying to become the same way.
It's a very precarious balancing act.
Ideally,
because you might end up eating dog food, depending because you live long in your family,
right?
So you better put away something or plan to work until you're 80.
Ideally, on my last, I almost wish I could know the day I die. That way, I could just calculate what I can spend, and that way the last day it's like, all right, I got a $30 meal and I'm out. Well, now I have zero in my savings, zero to give on to everybody else.
Screw that. You open a few credit cards like the year before and you just rack up a bunch of debt and leave it to the kids.
Gosh, I'm so much more moral than you. I didn't even think of that.
Oh, yeah, don't pay your taxes for 10 years. It takes a while for them to catch up,
I was thinking just go out with a zero balance. No, don't owe anybody anything. Don't pass anything on. Everybody's happy.
Well, yeah, that would be good. I mean, that's a struggle that I have because I want to enjoy life while I'm in the age to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to be able to travel, walk around forever.
Look, I'll let you into a secret. I don't plan on retiring. I literally spend 3 days around the house and I want to freaking go crazy.
What's funny is I had recently kind of felt a little burned out on work, and I was kind of complaining in a one of those we talked about earlier, just complaining about life. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of just there's an older.
The grass is greener. You thought about going to Hertz instead of Enterprise. They're selling cars over there.
So I was kind of just venting, and I was talking to this older gentleman. I'll say his name. But I'm not going to say his name on the podcast.
Okay.
I don't know. Why not?
Bleep him out.
Yeah. So he is, in his late 60s, and I thought he was retired. I was under the impression he was retired. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a little exhausted with work. It's a little tough, but I know you've put in your time. And he's like, oh, I still work. I work 60 hours a week. And I was like,
I thought he was retired too.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I thought you were going to say he worked a couple of days a week.
No. He completely put me in my place. I'm here 26 years old complaining about working 49 hours a week, and this guy is 60 whatever he is.
Wow.
Yeah, it really, you got to put things in perspective.
That's true. And the funny thing, like with this particular gentleman, is he's pulling down some cash.
Right.
So it's the more you make, and my daughter is facing this right now. She gets these great overtime days where she can make some serious cheddar.
Right. Yeah.
And so her struggle now is, how do I enjoy my time off? She's having a hard time enjoying her time off because she's thinking, I could go in right now and make cha-ching.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I ever go home.
That's what some of the girls in her department are doing that, and they're just burned out. They're working 7 straight shifts in a row.
And it's like, what do you spend it on? You have no free time.
That's right.
It's a double entendre. What? What's funny? You never heard me use such a big word?
Well, you're using it in the wrong place, but yeah, it's okay.
Wait, what would you mean? Tell me more about it.
A double entendre is...
it's a catch-22. That's what it is.
Yes, it is. Okay. Thank you. I don't need to explain that to a college-educated young man.
I smart.
Folks, thanks for joining us. There's more to come. This is the beginning of the second phase of the operation take over America with the Jeff and Aaron Show.
And we're going to get serious, folks. So we want you to know we're here for you, and you can email us, Jeff and Aaron Show at, wait, I don't even remember the email.
Jeff and Aaron Banter at gmail.com.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Jeff and Aaron Banter at gmail.com. You can also tweet Aaron at...
I'll put that in later.
yeah. Well, you know what? Twitter's dead. Facebook is dead. We're not even going to tell you to go to a Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook, you need to re-examine your life right now.
I agree.
So anyway, God bless you folks. Have a good one. Be nice to one another.